Thank you, Siri. Okay. We think we got it. Okay, everybody say hi to Camille. Hi, Camille. All right, kids, good morning. Today is the first day of 1 Million Cups in person. Yay. But as always, what we learned with the pandemic is you have to have plan Bs and plan Cs and plan Ds and Es and Fs and Gs. And so for the foreseeable future, while we are meeting in person, we're going to continue with the audio visual option for those of you that feel more comfortable from your office or from your home, and or you're just time constrained and you're trying to multitask and do multiple things. So first of all, we have 11 people, 12 people in the room today, which is fantastic. And then we have another 9 people. We have 13 people in the room today. And we also have 9 participants on our Zoom link. So welcome everybody. We have a fantastic presenters today. And I just want to give a shout out to the NRH Library for allowing us to, for hosting us, not only today, but the last 2 weeks. And again, one of our goals with our Northeast Tarrant community is that we are going to rotate and just get to know Northeast Tarrant County as we host 1 Million Cups. So without any more talking from me, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Darlisa so she can lay out the ground rules and cover some of the original content before we put some of you guys on notice and ask for introductions. So Darlisa.
Can you guys plug this in?
Yes.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Thumbs up, thumbs down, all around? All right. Okay, well, as we mentioned, we are in person. So if you see something quirky, corny, whatever, just roll with it, right? Because, you know, it is what it is. We're very excited to be at this moment. We started, January? So this is exciting. So welcome to everyone that is here with us for 1 Million Cups. So of course, our mission is to help aspiring or current entrepreneurs do what? Succeed in their endeavors by establishing a supportive space where they can test, tweak, or simply validate their idea while connecting them to similarly diverse driven members of their communities, which is everyone here on this call. We also want to ensure that any entrepreneur or wantrepreneur will have at least one clearly defined path to access education and resources within their community. Now that I think about it, I probably should have been up there. Okay, how does 1 Million Cups work? Generally, we have 1 to 2 presentations. Presenters are not on the call to sell, to invest, or gain exposure. So one thing you'll notice in the 1MC community is we don't have a 30-second pitch. You know, it's not a who we're looking to or who we need for the week or whatever the case may be. It is a conversation that we have with those business owners presenting. They are here to share their business and their business journey, milestones, and most importantly, their obstacles and what their barrier to success is. They each get 6 minutes followed by 20 minutes of Q&A for feedback, questions, and advice. Sometimes, however, we will have an educational portion where it is split. You get 20 minutes of information and 6 minutes of Q&A. And then, of course, we have our community updates because we want to know what you have going on so that we can support it. We could not do any of this without our amazing organizing team. So many of us are in the room right now. So if you are an organizer, if you could just wave or do a dance or whatever. Okay, Shay, I see you. And so we have Elizabeth. You gotta go. Oh, here's Elizabeth. So we have myself, Craig Holtz, who is being a problem child, and he's talking while we have myself, Craig, Shay Jackson, Dakari Hill, Camille Corner, Hank Johnson, Elizabeth Copeland, Jack Bradshaw, and Misha. Misha, give us a wave. She's holding it down for us in virtual land. So if you guys get out of line on the computer, she's got you. I'm just saying. All right, so we have some visitors in the room with us. So it's pretty exciting to do our Who's in the Room because guess what? We're actually in a room. That is so funny. All right, so I see someone in the room with us that has not been with us. So I'm going to pick on her. Miss Rachel.
I did one virtual one a long time ago. So,
well, we're going to get one more volunteer. I don't know. I can't see virtual world.
I'm going to call on Jason Madden.
Boom. There we go. Okay. So Mr. Jason and Miss Rachel, if you guys want to give us your 15 seconds of your name, your business, and how you heard about 1MC, the show and the floor is yours. So we'll go with ladies first. Miss Rachel, take it away.
okay, well, I'm Rachel Seidemann and I'm with the Health Insurance Duo. I'm a member of the chamber and I heard about 1 Million Cups through the chamber. I attended one virtual a long time ago, but I'm excited that it's in person, so that's why I came today. So,
Yay. Welcome, Rachel. And I think that was pretty cool because like Camille like vanished and then she came back on. So that was pretty cool. All right, Jason, floor is yours.
Yep. My name is Jason Madden. I own a company called Mad Logic, and I help them build automation and data integration tools. So I heard about 1 Million Cups through SCORE. My mentor, I kind of worked with him, and he had mentioned that it may be a good platform for me to join. So yeah, I'm here, and I think I'm presenting next week, so I'm kind of prepping for it.
All right, shout out to SCORE for the introduction and shout out to Jason because he has done something that some of you still haven't done, and that is apply to present, but we won't go there. All right, so welcome Jason, welcome Rachel, and welcome everyone else. All right, so moving right along, we are so excited today. Not only for our guest speakers, but they are our hosts. So we want you to tune in and listen to what the awesome resources the NRH Library has for us as community members, business owners, etc. So Cecilia, take it away. Oh no, it's to you.
Cecilia, you're on mute. Cecilia, you're on mute.
Good.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cecilia Barham, and I'm the Director of Library Services here at the North Richland Hills Library. And it is our honor and our pleasure to be the host location for 1 Million Cups. And it's even my greater honor today to get to talk a little bit about the library and to introduce two people who are going to share resources that are available to entrepreneurs in our community. Couple of facts about the North Richland Hills Library. You don't have to live in North Richland Hills to get a North Richland Hills library card. We serve all residents of Texas. So when you hear about these resources that Kendra and Corey are going to share with you today, you don't have to worry like, oh, but I don't live in North Richland Hills, because if you live in Texas, you can come and use our resources. Something else you might want to know about our library is that we are very known throughout the state for winning several awards. One is the Texas Municipal Library Directors Award, which we've won for six consecutive years. We've also won awards from the Texas Library Association for the marketing of some of our major projects. And then we've also been recognized at the state and national level for our makerspace called the Makerspot that Corey's going to talk with you about today. So I won't get into that too deeply. Kendra is going to talk to you first, and today Kendra is going to share with you about resources that our adult services team has. And Kendra's been in libraries for 20 years. She's worked here at the North Richland Hills Library for 16 years, and for the last 6 years, she's been our adult services supervisor. Not only is she a fabulous leader here in our library, bringing about programs like our adult computer series where people can get certification for using different computer programs, but she's also a leader at the state level with the Texas Library Association, where she served in many capacities. After Kendra speaks, Corey Tolfa is going to talk with you guys. And Corey is actually the person who single-handedly manages and runs our makerspace. She is an engineering student at UTA, and she is driven, bright, and amazing. And honestly, I don't know that the makerspace would be what it is today if it wasn't for Corey. So I'm going to first turn it over to Kendra, and then when she's done, she'll turn it over to Corey. So thank you for your time this morning.
I don't know who Cecilia was talking about, but like she said, my name is Kendra Gibbs, and I'm just going to talk to you today about two databases that really work well with businesses and entrepreneurs starting up your business. So I'm going to go through talking to you about how to access them and then go through what they can do for you. Okay. Can everybody hear me and see me? Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Brings up my PowerPoint. Okay, can everybody see that? Can you hear me? Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna talk to you about is Reference Solutions. It's been renamed. It was at one point Reference USA. And so how to access it? First way you're gonna access it is by going to our library's website, and you're gonna search for our library. Then you will, another way you can access it is by going to our library's website and going through it through a link on our resource page. And then, as you can see here on this slide, you will access it. This is what you'll see on the databases. So when you go into the website, you can search the databases. You can do U.S. businesses, employers. You can search historical businesses, U.S. job internships, U.S. new businesses, U.S. healthcare, and one source. So now I'm going to show you a little bit because that's just page. Let me stop sharing the screen. This screen. Okay. So the way you're going to access it by going to our library's website, you would go to Books and More, and then you would go to Research and Learn. Under Research and Learn, click on this.
Kendra,
Can you see it?
you need to unshare your PowerPoint.
Okay, sorry. Let me pull it down. We haven't used Zoom for a long time. Can you guys see now? Okay, all right, good. All right, so you're gonna go to Books and More. You click on this link and then Research and Learn. Once you click on that link, you will go down to find Reference Solutions. If you click on this link, it will bring you directly to the site. You will click the accept the conditions and agreement. I'm going to pull this out the way. And then you would enter your library card number. I remember my library card number. Okay. So once you're in, you can see what you saw on the slideshow. You have access to these available databases: U.S. businesses, U.S. new businesses, standard white pages, new movers, homeowners, U.S. job internships, U.S. healthcare, and U.S. consumers lifestyles. So I'm gonna click on and search the US businesses and just show you what you can do, what information you can pull up, okay? So for this one, I'm gonna put in a company's name that I can think of and just show you what you see. So I'm gonna click in, because I'm a little hungry, Babe's Chicken. Haven't ate breakfast yet. And just click view results. Okay, so it came up with 12 results because I automatically defaulted to DFW. But as you can see, it brought up all the Babe's chickens in DFW, okay? So right here at the top, you can immediately get details on each of these by clicking them. You can get a summary of it, you can get charts, you can download the item to a spreadsheet, or you can save your search, okay? So I'm gonna click on one of the Babe's chickens. And then I'm gonna show you the information. Some key things you need to know here. This here, the good thing about Reference USA, why it's such a good resource, is that they verify their records. You're gonna see some records that you may pull up that don't have the V here. That means that record hasn't been verified. This information is pretty much, because we've been having them as a database for probably like, Cecilia, over 10 years, probably for a long time. So their records, they verify their records, okay? So this V indicates that the record has been verified and that it's most up to date. You'll go down here and you'll see that it'll say job listings found for it. And this is a good way if you're an entrepreneur, but you're speaking to someone about, maybe you're having someone that you're looking for, if this was a manufacturing company or something and you were trying to market and get people who you wanted to hire for your business. This will tell you what jobs that are available for all the Babe's Chicken that are in DFW. It gives the SIC code, the NAICS code and description down here. It will give you the location. So this particular Babe's has 50 to 99 people, gives you their sales volume for their goal, and tells you their hours of operation. Here it tells you the name, the executive title, the person that's there. And then at the end, it gives you these expenditures that are estimated annual expenses. So it breaks down like the accounting, the contract labor, the legal information, the sales volume by year, the employee size by the year. This is all can be a report that you can download and get the information for. Data feedback. If you click on data feedback, so say that you see something on this record and you're like, I know the owner of this franchise in Arlington. And I know for a fact it's not Jason Jefferson. You can go in and enter your contact information and say, this is something that is incorrect. And so what you'll do is you put your name here. And you put your information. And when you submit it, it's basically gonna say, you're gonna put like the feedback here, like the data here says, okay, so I feel like I know that this person is not the owner anymore. And so what will happen is that this goes to reference solutions, and they will go in and research and update the information. Yeah, because that record is verified. So that is some. Here on the side where it says quick links, you can go in, like I said, it's the same information here, but say you just wanted to just quickly look at the stock data. It'll just bring that up, or nearby businesses. It'll bring up, you see it says Arlington Document Destruction, Arlington Symphony Orchestra. So it brought up their businesses that are nearby this location. So that's the way that you can kind of search and find information on about certain businesses. I'm gonna go back. You can navigate by just clicking reference solutions and it'll navigate back. So if you were doing something like marketing, you have a new business and you want to get some information out to different businesses there, okay? You can do advanced search here and you can create you a report, okay, that you want to do. So here, if you look here, this is quick search, it tells you things. So say you want to come here and you want to find information on home ownership. So you kind of just build your report here. And you want to do it by Texas. And so you're just going to build your report, and you may have the name of the business or you may not. But say you want to, first name. Then you would click view results, and the more things that you put on here, and this will give you a record of like all, as you can see here, all the names and stuff for people who have homes. So this is something like if you're a real estate agent or you're somebody that a real estate broker and you want to get information on people who don't have home ownership or people who do, you can go ahead and look at this and gives you the address and stuff, and you can send out your information to market stuff. And you can do that with different things here. So if you go here, you can pretty much go back here. You can pretty much do a marketing report for each. This is just US movers and homeowners, but you can go to new businesses and you can go into advanced search. And then you can go to business type and click keyword or major industry, which I've ran reports for people with that. Major industry is very good because here, as you can see, you can break down. So say you have a construction business and you're wanting to get started. You click on the construction, you can kind of guide here and see, okay, well, do I want the 16 heavy construction except building, or do I just want to market or do stuff to contractors or trade contractors? You can click here to decide which one, and it'll tell you like 142 selected. So once you go in to your report, you can build it. It's another, you can, add your report, add more to it. This one, when you clicked it here, you can see where it says general contractor, single family houses, operative builders. So you can click these or not click them and then view the results. And it's going to bring up a report of all your businesses that has to do with manufacturing. Okay. And so now you can run this report or save this search or download it and get a summary of it. And you can send marketing material to all these construction sites based on what you need. And so when you go back, let me go back, navigate back. So when you do new businesses and you look and you're going to go to advanced search, it's probably better to just click major industry group, because like I said, you see that they've already broken it down. They have agriculture and forestry, they have mining, they have retail and trade. And then they break it down: food stores, merchandising stores, material, eating and drinking places. These are all reports that you can build. And since it's a lot of, because they have so much data, you're gonna get so much record, you can just download the report or save it to a PDF and then print it. One of the things that we love reference questions at our desk. So one of the things that we love is that when people call us and say, well, can you help me with getting this report? I've ran reports and sent it to people's email, to patrons' email, and they've picked it up and you called me and thanked me. Oh yeah, this was great. I used this for this, but this is just a great resource. Does anybody have any questions? I know I may go a little faster.
Is it okay if I ask the question?
Yes.
Okay, so when I think about reference source, I think about it as being used in two primary ways. One is for competitive market analysis. So that if you're considering starting a business in a particular area, you can do a report that lets you know geographically what other businesses similar to what you're trying to start or in that area. And the other is for direct marketing. And so where my question lies, Kendra, is which ones do you use when you're looking at competitive market analysis, and which ones do you use for direct marketing?
So your direct marketing, you would use US business search or the new business search for your direct marketing. For your analysis, when you pull up your business and you go in, this is where you can do your advanced search and you can build your report. So you can go down, like it says here, exclusion, you can go down, and when you put your business, like when I put in Babes or like Babes Chicken or a certain industry that you're going, all of them automatically come up with a summary of their expenses and what they did. So then you can run a chart or download the information and it'll have all the business analysis, like what they did last year. And then you can click it to compare it to other businesses that's doing. So you can build it where it's Dave's Chicken, it's Chick-fil-A. Let me show you another. Wait, let me go back to that. Because I had something else. So if I'm going here, and I put Dave's Chicken. Now I'm gonna wanna have that for lunch. And I click on one of the ones. Click on another one to get the report. Okay, so has your type of business, it has your information here. You can come down here and it'll say competitors report right here. So you can expand it and it'll tell you immediately what's there. So in that area in Frisco, their competitor is Carcinera El Bajo, Depot Cafe, Dough Box. When I did the one, I actually kind of played with it and did a report for our Bates Chicken in North Richland Hills, and immediately Chick-fil-A came up. So that's how you can build your reports and stuff and do it. It's very easy once you get in. I suggest going in and playing with it and looking and see what you can do. One thing that you see at the bottom, it says 1,000 of 100 downloads and prints per search. So it's always good to, when you're building a report, to kind of narrow it down, give as much information that you want to add to building your report so you don't have a large volume of a report to download into. Yes.
Just a couple questions.
Mhm.
You kind of touched on it. If you were to download this information, say into Excel, is there a record limit?
So it tells you can only download 100 per search.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you another way you can kind of get around that. So this is going through the library site. When you go on, I would suggest, especially with you guys being entrepreneurs, that you register a personal account. So once you register your account, it kind of gives you a little bit more leeway in what you can download. Yeah, and so then when you go into it and you access it, did everybody get one of these? Yeah, you can access it and then, build a report, save them and do them and then add more onto it. And then you can get more information that way.
So I work at the chamber, so we would have an account for the chamber. Could I also have a personal one at my
Yes,
own?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have to come to the library in person to get your library ID?
No, you can call or you can access it by going to the library's website. And we have a program called Library Help, and people ask us all the time. Let me see if I can go to the site. Easy. No one's going to be on it right now because we haven't opened yet, but if you go to our site, and Cecilia, tell me if I'm seeing it, contact us. So it popped up, ask the librarian. So you can chat with us online and we can give you your card immediately. It's not going to pop up right now because there's nobody, we haven't opened yet, but ask the librarian. That would get us directly to our desk and we will, you need your card number, this, you need access, I'm having issues with this. We had a patron who had recently an issue with getting on to our site because the URL was wrong, and I had been talking to him for a week, and so we finally got it ironed out, and so he's good to go. And he has just started his own new business, and he was just like, I gotta get on to that Reference USA. I heard so much about it. But you can access, you don't have to call, you can call us, you can do it online, or you can come in person. Yep. So first access is to have a library card, which is free. And Cecilia said it's in Texas. You're a Texas resident, so you don't have to pay. We're one of the few libraries that you don't have to pay to have our library card.
You haven't used it in a while, does it expire?
It expires every 3 years, but all we gotta do is just see your information and we can renew it immediately. You can have your same card. So don't leave without making sure you have your library card.
On the way out.
If
Yeah.
it's been more than 3 years, we can also just get a new.
Yes,
because we have-
but if you're in the system, if stuff has changed, if you're in the system, because if it expires, as long as you probably, if you used it, only way it's not in the system is if you haven't used it. If you've used it and it's just expired, we can just renew it immediately. Yeah. Okay, so does anybody have any questions so far on Reference Solutions? I want to say Reference USA because it was so long.
I just have one comment, and that is the new movers, homeowners, for for many chamber-related businesses that are B2C, business to consumer, I think that's a very valuable tool, especially when people are new to the community and they have yet to establish their preferences for who their married person is or who their insurance person is, that type of thing. So I strongly recommend that you look at the new movers. I was in direct marketing, and I'll shut up here in a sec, about 20 years ago, worked for a direct mail company. And we had to pay premium fees to obtain new mover data from the United States Postal Service. That this is free is incredible.
Yes, it is. And I'm glad that you mentioned that because like Craig said, if you look at quick search, you can navigate it and make sure that you have specifically, you can do it by zip codes. You can do it by the housing type. If they have an apartment, by estimated income, you build your report how you want it to market to who you want to market to get your results. So it is a great tool. You asked.
Well, it's gonna, will this also have, like I live in North Richland Hill, so I get the newsletter, of the new businesses coming in at the bottom. Will they be on this as well, or do we still go to Tarrant County to get the new listings?
You can build and get your new businesses. If you go back.
Register at the courthouse, it's gonna be.
It's yes, they have the verified records. And I mean, it's 2.5 new businesses. I mean, they're constantly updating. They're really, really good about doing it. Like I said, and if you don't, you see that record is verified, that means that they have, that's up to date. It'll tell you too. I wanted to bring up, there was another company that I wanted to use where it brought up the job listings, and it had job listings for as late as July 23rd, 2021. So it's being updated. They're adding that data. And like I said, if you see something that it doesn't look right, or and you're like, I know this person, or I think, you can go into that data feedback, put in what you think is incorrect, and they will go in and research it and contact you and say, okay, we corrected it. This is what it is.
The beautiful thing about the new US businesses is that the city only keeps track of businesses that are occupying space that have received occupancy. We all know that many businesses are out of office or have a PO box that don't have a brick and mortar. And those are the businesses that need chamber resources. They need 1 million cups. They need a lot of the resources that a lot of you guys provide. So I strongly recommend that you also tap into this for the new US businesses.
Yeah, I can say that when I first started with my company almost 6 years ago, we tried Reference USA, as it was called back then, and it was hard to navigate and it was confusing. And then revisiting this today, it is so much better. It is a lot cleaner.
Yeah,
So much
they
better.
did a lot of different things with it and updated it. And then they also put guides on the actual website for you to go through it. I think at one point you couldn't set up a personal account. You just had to use your library card. And I like the fact that they added that feature for
They
it.
tapped out at, I think, 500 at one point. Does it still tap out at 500?
As far as downloads, 100 with your library card, but for your card, I believe it's 1,000 that you can do. Yeah. Yes. That's when you set up your account. When you set up your account. Yeah.
So we should have, so like I have a little business, at home, so I should put my library
Yeah,
card to
yeah,
that
yeah.
little
Just
business.
do
so
it.
that I-
Once you need your library card to access it first, and then you will go in and you can set up your personal account.
And I could do it either with the chamber, being a chamber member,
Yes.
or my own.
Yeah. As long as it's different email.
Well, it is.
We get around it. Okay, did you have any more questions on reference solutions? I'm gonna go through one other database resource that we have, and that is our text share databases. So can everybody still see? I'm gonna go to our text share database. You will access it the same way by going to Books and More, Research and Learn, and you will go to text share databases. You click on this. And those slips that I gave you, that is the way you will access it when you are not in the library. So as you can see, it has all our collections here. We will go to business. The first thing you see here is business abstracts and full text, business continuity and disaster recovery reference, business source complete, regional business news. All those are articles and evaluations on different things. that's more for like a student, you would want to go to the Small Business Reference Center. So you click on this, you will select your library, which is North Richland Hills. You can select it by the drop-down menu, or you can type it in. Then you will use that password that's there, which is the TX76180. You will type that in. Click access. And then it will, so this is the thing, it gives you information on business areas, industry information by small business type, business basics, startup kit, and business plans. And one of the things that I love, because I am a librarian, it gives you, let me go back. Oh, did I click on something? Hold on. Yes, I did. It gives you books, resources that you can download, PDF wise, or you can read online. Home business tax deductions, your limited liability company, complete guide to buying your business, tax savvy small business. I mean, you deduct it. So if you click on one of these items, books, you see that you get the PDF full text, you get all the information, it's a detailed record, and you can just read right then and there about the information that you need. It also has like things like if you're needing it for contracts and stuff, you can print them off and then, you know, copy it. I mean, it's kind of like how to file your own divorce. You print out the sheets and stuff. I use that as an example. I'm just gonna say it. But yes, so you can access all these books and use this as a resource. It also has startup information, browse it by state. You click on that, enter in Texas or whatever you want to, if you're not looking for Texas information, and you can click on the state you want and you can see how they have startup information. They also have search videos, small business videos. You click search videos here and you put in what you're looking for. So say you want to get business information videos on manufacturing or construction. That and click search. Okay, no results found. Interesting. Let me click search here. I think that was one of the ones. Let me do manufacturing. Okay. Let's say that. Yeah. All right. So immediately it brings up Harvard SFSS, Know Your Worth. You have the PDF for it that you can view it, or you can do the video and it will talk to you about how they video on how they started their business or how they helped someone market into their business. So the videos are there and the PDF is there. This is more information and resources that you can have. I like the books because sometimes I get people that come to the desk and say, I have a business and I need a contract for this, or I need, you know, this, how can I get it? And instead of sending them somewhere where they have to pay for it, you can go to the book and print that contract out and there you have it. Is there any questions on that?
And that's free as well,
Yes.
with our library card?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, really.
Yes. And when they ask a question in the room,
Mhm.
you repeat it.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, I'm sorry. Sure, yes.
Are all these resources typical of all libraries now? Do they want, you know, or is it just, does it depend on the library?
Okay, so that's Jack. You're Jack, right? Okay. Jack asked if all these resources that I talked to you about today, typical for all libraries. And I'm gonna brag and say they're not. Like I said, we saw that with my wonderful director and leader. We saw that this was a big one, a big Reference USA at the time was a good resource, and they were always verifying their records and doing it, because that's a lot of things you run in. You run into records that are not verified, and you guys need that as entrepreneurs. You need that information. So every library doesn't have these databases. TechShare, they probably have, but I don't know if they will have the business guide and what they would have as far as do it for yourself. So it all depends on the library. Yes. So does anybody else have any other questions?
Thank you, Kendra.
All right, thank you. Corey, I'm sorry if I had everything up. You right. I did leave my business card. Please, you can email me questions if you think about it after my business card is here. I'll be glad to help.
All right, everyone, good morning. Can everyone virtually hear me? Hopefully you can, awesome. My name is Corey Telfa. I've been working for the library for about 6 years now. I work at the main circulation desk as well as the maker spot on our second floor. So a little bit about what a maker spot is, if you guys haven't heard about them before, is a maker spot is a community workshop that offers access and training to tools and equipment that maybe you wouldn't have at home. Our maker spot, for example, has 3 3D printers, a large format printer for doing banners, flyers, and posters, laptops and computers with software that such as 3D design, Photoshop, Illustrator, software that might be a bit pricey to try to get a home license or an entrepreneurial license for, we have available here for you. We've got woodworking, hand tools, soft crafts, embroidery machines, pretty much anything. Yeah, there's, yes. We got a quilting machine too. So pretty much what we do is we offer you access to equipment and software that you maybe wouldn't have a reasonable access to otherwise. So how it all started was our awesome director, Cecilia, like 7, 8 years ago, kind of worked together with local community members and other makers too, who had this idea for a space that people could come utilize to learn something new. And after about 18 months of planning and development and a grant from the Texas State Libraries and Archives Commission and Institute for Museum and Library Services, we were able to open the maker spot. Again, I can't remember if I mentioned this before. It is on our second floor of the library. It's 4,500 square feet. It is a huge industrial space that is just meant for you guys to come work on things. So how I really believe this can benefit entrepreneurs and just people in general is it, like I said before, offers affordable access to things that just wouldn't be reasonable to buy otherwise. Some examples of how people have used our equipment before is for our 3D printers, we've had people do prototypes. 2 big ones that stand out, we had a lady who had this really specific patent she wanted to do. And when she wanted to reach out to someone to design it for her, it was going to be quite a bit of money. It's really, really fun. They're wonderful businesses that can do prototypes for you, but it's very expensive. So we gave her the tools and free classes to get started on designing in AutoCAD to make her product and 3D print it. And she had it later that day and could test it herself and had complete control over the entire design process without having to have a middleman. So it gave her the benefit of when she went to fund it or doing like a Kickstarter or crowdfunding, she had a tangible product. Another one is just for privacy for him, I'm pointing at you, Cecilia, because I know you know him. We had a gentleman who volunteered here who wanted to have a Kickstarter for a game development for a board game. Yes, ma'am.
Zoom World asked you slow down.
Sorry. I know I can talk super fast. Sorry, guys. Sorry, people on Zoom. I always get super excited and I talk real fast. So what this gentleman did was when he wanted to have a Kickstarter for his own board game, people wanted to see a tangible product first. So he was able to design the pieces, 3D print them, and he used our large format printer to print an example of his game board and was able to show people what the product was without having to pay anyone to make it for him. So having access to these gives you complete control of your entire design process. The other thing that really is really helpful is just having the creative space. I can't speak for you guys, but when I lived in an apartment, I didn't have the space to make the things I wanted to, whether it was for school or work. So having a big open industrial space to just be creative and spread out is kind of a benefit in itself. There's also what we find with makers and maker spaces in general, not just ours here, although ours is really wonderful for this, is you have a really dense network of creative people who want to help you and want to see your project through. And that's a really nice environment to be able to network with people like that. It wasn't when the maker spot's open, it's not an uncommon day to see people who are running their own business, working on a 3D printer or telecommuting for like a security software company. And everyone wants to be involved and help however they can. And that's a wonderful environment to have at your fingertips too. We are one of the big maker spaces in our area, but we are by far not alone. There's a lot, if you don't live in the North Richland Hills area or near us, definitely ask other local libraries too. They may not have the same space we have, but they have a lot of them will have similar equipment. There's also other maker spaces too, like the Dallas maker space that will charge a monthly fee, but will give you access to equipment too. One more example that I forgot to mention earlier is in our soft craft, we had a woo for quilting and soft crafts. We have an embroidery machine, and one use I didn't think about until this gentleman came to use it was a guy who runs his own security software company. He wanted to have branded logos because they would go on site for jobs, and he wanted to let people know that that was his company. He came here, designed his own logo, and used the embroidery machine to put the logos on polo t-shirts so people, when they went out, could know that that's what his company was. So again, it gives you complete control, whether it's 3D printing, designing something in Photoshop or Illustrator, or making a soft craft of something that can be your company and you have complete control over. So long story short, it's a very low cost and non-committal way to get your product out there or get your design and brand out there. The other thing too is how the public uses a space here. This is going to be specific for our library. You have to have a library card to use the equipment. Like Kendra and Cecilia said before, we offer library cards to anyone in the state of Texas, as long as you just have proof of Texas residency. And our Makerspot is free to use for Texas North Richland Hills residents and free for children 18 years and under. If you are a non-North Richland Hills resident, you can still use the space. It's just $10 a month to use the space, and that helps us recover the cost for supplies. So we try to make it pretty low cost. The other thing too is, so we don't just offer classes in our Makerspot that are related to our equipment. We offer other classes too. We've done security software classes, programming classes. I'm pointing at Miss Cynthia in the back because she's been kind enough to do small business development classes in our Makerspot too. So pretty much if there's a class that we can identify a need in our community, we try to offer it as best we can. How you access to see more information about our Makerspot is through our library website, library.nrhtx.com. And on the services tab, you'll see about our Makerspot and how you can reserve equipment and find more information about it and just see upcoming classes. So again, we would love for you to use ours. If we are a bit too far away for you, totally understand, please contact your local libraries to see what they have available for you. It's definitely a good resource and you don't want to leave it on the table. So any questions? Sorry, I know I talked a little fast. If anyone needs me to go back over anything, please let me know. I always get really passionate and excited. Hi, Kendra.
Just a reminder.
So-
We had someone here, remember, that did their demo with our Makerspot. And they recorded their demo.
That's right. So, okay, so Kendra had made a point of, we had a young man, we also have music editing equipment, which I completely forgot to include. A young man named Robert, who he wanted to have a music portfolio. And we have things like Logic Pro and Ableton Live, which can be kind of expensive and hard to obtain a home license for. So he came in every day after high school to build a portfolio of music, and he wanted going to a music college based on that too. So things that we never even expected would help pursue, kind of push people's career forward, we're able to do that. So, and again, just having that creative space is super nice. Yes, ma'am.
You send out emails about all this information?
We
How
do.
we get on that list?
So it's through our library newsletter. So when you guys get your library card, if you give us your email address too, let us know when you can get library updates. We also have an area on our website at the bottom to sign up for the library newsletter too. And people who join our Makerspot also, once they sign up with their email too, they get updates about, what coming up classes and things like that too. So yes, ma'am.
My question is, I'm not a North Richland Hills resident. So when I get my library card today,
Nice.
do I need to mention that I would like to pay for or sign up for the Makerspot subscription?
That's a really good question. So we had a lady in the room ask us about signing up for Makerspot a membership once you get your library card if you're a non-resident. So that's actually through a separate tab on our website, same tab, it's under services on the library website. And you'll see a tab of Makerspot memberships. Right now, the Makerspot is closed. We had closed it for the pandemic. We still are offering classes and things like that too. So please keep an eye out on our calendar. But it's a separate thing you sign up for on our website. Just let us know. We're getting everything ready to open our Makerspot late summer, early fall. So definitely keep an ear and an eye out for that. But that was a wonderful question. Thank you. So any other questions?
We have some questions.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have to do some time.
No, take your time.
Hold on, Nishan. You mute up here, and then we're gonna unmute.
Sounds good.
Here.
Plug it in. Yes.
Hold on.
Okay, let's see if that works.
All right, Nishan, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead with your question.
Okay, I just wanted to inquire more about the Logic Pro and find out, is there like a time limit on using the resource? What does that look like?
That's a really good question. So,
You can come over here.
Awesome. So, Mishan, can you hear me okay?
Can you hear her, Mishan?
I can hear you. Yes.
All right, so no, that was a wonderful question. So for Logic Pro, pretty much our time limit for most of our MakerSpot equipment is we have reservation times available for 1 to 3 and 4 hour time slots. If there's no one else using the equipment that day, you can use it as long as we are open. Our MakerSpot is open from the time we open and it closes 30 minutes before the library closes to give you time to clean up your project and save everything. But yeah, so no, you can reserve it for 4 hour reservations at a time. But if no one's using it after you, you can use it as long as we're open.
Very cool. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Great question.
That was good.
My question is, when is it planning to open back fully?
So, okay, so right now, we're planning on having a big grand opening August 28th. And that's where we're going to have our big kickoff to get everyone back and welcomed inside for classes. So August 28th is when we're planning for our big grand opening. I'm super excited.
The first people to hear.
Yeah, you guys are. That's why I kind of looked at Cecilia. We've kind of been keeping it like a secret at this point. So that's why I kind of looked at her like, you say it.
You heard it first, people. Hot off the press.
Exactly. So August 28th. So.
All right, awesome. Other questions? Shay? Oh, I thought Shay had a question. Other questions? Anyone in Zoom land? Questions? All right, if you have questions, do not hesitate.
Hours of the library.
There we go. Hours of the library.
Awesome question. So library's open Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Friday, Saturday, we're open 10 to 5 p.m. closed on Sundays. So thank you, Cynthia.
All right.
That's a great lead into our community event.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. So we are now going to kick it over to Jack. Just FYI, we may go a couple minutes over 9 o'clock, so we understand if you have to go. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll try our best to get all of these resources out to you in email. But for now, Jack, take her away.
All right, thank you. Hey, considering it's late in July, we've got a lot of great events coming up. And Mishan, you want to start us out? You put something in the chat about Dallas Startup Week. So you want to tell us real briefly?
Actually, I'm going to turn that over to Darlisa because Darlisa is very much involved in that process. So Darlisa, do you mind talking about it?
Sure, Mishan. All right. So Dallas Startup Week, it is offered in person and virtual this year. So it is hybrid. Lots of events, lots of speakers, lots of resources. You do not have to be in Dallas to be a part of it. I believe Mishan put the link in there, but some amazing speakers. Mishan is going to be featured. I'll be a featured speaker. You have keynote speakers. It's just a whole bunch going on. But if you go to, it starts off with the event called Disrupt Dallas. That kicks off on Sunday. And then all from the 2nd through the 6th, it's just events, virtual ones. So they have various tracks like AI, funding, creative. So there's a bunch of different resources that you can tap into. It is the largest entrepreneurial event in the Metroplex right now. We are blessed as the North Texas Entrepreneur Training Center to be a part of the works and getting it off and running. We just play a small part, but there is a lot of sessions. And so I was blessed to be able to bring some of that Tarrant County flavor over. And so that's why we have sessions where Mishan is going to be a part of it. We have some Tech Fort Worth. We're going to be doing a session. So if you're able to and want to log into some of them, please do. Some great sessions.
You said it starts this Sunday?
It starts this Sunday.
Okay, so
Disrupt Dallas is in person. It's happening all at the SMU School of Business. It's for those that want to be in person, but it is virtual as well.
And the link is in the chat. So go ahead and click on that now, or remember you can go to the bottom of the chat and click on the 3 dots and save everything in the chat. So you just go to the very bottom, there's 3 dots on the right, and you can save it as a text file. So I see also that I think, Darlisa, you put the B1 Bank Entrepreneur Training Program. We've got a link for that.
Yes.
You want to
So programming is starting up full effect for NTETC. So this afternoon at 2:00, we have the information session for one of our partnered events where entrepreneurs can participate in one of the cohorts. B1 Bank is sponsoring this program, and all entrepreneurs that complete it get a $1,000 grant towards their business. You do not have to have an account with B1 Bank in order to get it. But that information session is at 2:00. Also, I'll mention for any woman entrepreneur, we opened up the applications for the Women's Leadership Forum, which is in partnership with TWU, the Center for Women Entrepreneurs. So if you visit nteetc.com/programs, you'll see our lineup. We have some really cool things going on right now. So pop over there and you get all that other information. Thank you, Jack.
Yeah, so, okay, real quickly, Angie, we got a big lunch today. Dynamic Women's Alliance is back in person. And if you have not networked with this group, you do not want to miss this luncheon. I think you can still register at this point. So Angie, I got a cool program today. Oh, you're on mute, you're on mute.
We do. Our speaker, Kelly Sauter, is going to talk to us about mindset about money. We're going to be at Eventful Year's special event venue from 11:30 to 1 today. So thank you to LaWanda and to our whole committee. But we're really going to have a great time networking. Cast Your Bread is our caterer today. So come out and join us. It's not too late. Show up at the door for Dynamic Women's Alliance.
All right, thank you very much. And Tracy, good to see you on this morning. And you had your, right before this, Synergy NETC, which is a Zoom event every Wednesday. So I encourage, before you come to 1 Million Cups, to get involved with Synergy NETC.
Yep, we'd love to have you join every morning on Zoom right now. And hopefully be meeting back in person and doing a hybrid starting September.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Something, two things near and dear personal to my heart. We've got our Leadership Northeast is starting up, and it deadlines this Friday. So if really getting to know your community and making lifelong friends and getting great experience and knowledge about how your community works is something you'd like to do, we have a wonderful program. We are very limited. We maybe have 2 slots left, I think, but it's a great program that our chamber does. And then people ask me all the time, what can I do for my community? Well, this Friday, we are having a big blood drive with Carter Blood Care. And if you haven't given blood, it's a very healthy thing for you to do for your body. But also, we are not desperate, but we're really low on our blood supply. So we teamed up with Carter Blood Care. They're trying to do 2,000 donations this Friday. We've got all sorts of great prizes that you can win. And we're going to be posting on Facebook our winners. So we're doing that. Also, we're rolling out the grill at 5 Star Ford, and we're going to be making lunch. I'm going to be flipping burgers for people that come and give blood. So if you would, I think we're right about 15 that have signed up. Our goal is 23, but we have slots for over 30. And the link is right in the chat. So hopefully we can see you guys out on Friday. We'll be out there all day with 5 Star Ford and Carter Blood Care and giving away tons of prizes. But but the great thing is you can really help your community at a time when there's a lot of need. I think, let me just check on the very bottom here and see if there's anything else.
One more. If you have not already and are able to volunteer, the Birdville, working with the CEC, we are doing a refresh, which is giving school supplies to families in need. It will be down at the BISD Plaza. Go to the CEC website to register. It is a great time. It is going to be outside. It is going to be outside there. And first weekend of August, I'm just going to point that out. So nice, short, sweet shifts. So the more of us that volunteer, the shorter and the sweeter the shifts they can be. So I'm just going to point that out. But it is a great time to help see who's in our community, and it's also a great time to team build. I will tell you that if you want to volunteer with your team, being a part of those teams that help load those cars, it is one of those places that definitely touch your heart. So if you have not already volunteer, and you get a free T-shirt. Come on, what a bunch of you.
Yes, and I will say I just put the link for that in the chat. So once again, click on that if you want. Nancy?
And contact Tori today because the training sessions are this afternoon for that event. The volunteer training sessions are at lunchtime and then again at, I think, 4:30 or 5:30.
It's coming up quick, isn't it?
Yeah, so contact her today. They really need the help, so.
Do you know if you don't attend the volunteer session, like, can you not volunteer or?
They would prefer that you do because of how they do it. I've done it every year with them. My husband works there. But just contact her and tell her you want to volunteer, but that you can't make it to, to the training. And that way you can get your form and fill it out and make sure she has all that information.
What if, like Mary and I, what if we've already volunteered?
For it before?
Yeah.
You didn't get the email that says you're supposed to go to the training?
No.
No?
So I'm just saying, like, if we've already volunteered and
I
we've
have
already done
too.
it, do we have to keep going to the training every
I'll
year?
call her as soon as I get done
Okay.
because I got my to,
Oh, sorry. Okay.
sorry.
All right, that's all we have for today. And if, yeah, you guys can take any of these conversations offline. Remember to save the chat so that you have all these wonderful links.
Okay, and then we just have to figure out how to get back to what my tips. Yeah, I'll just wait for him. Can you guys still hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Sam said thumbs up.
Oh, perfect. Okay,
I'm kind of curious, could they hear me okay? Because I had my specific speaker off.
There's a-
So they were hearing me okay through here?
I think so. You guys heard Jack, okay? Thumbs up. All right. Woo! So we did it. So let's give ourselves. Okay, enough. We're in the library. We have to be quiet. Okay. So
The door's closed, we're okay.
thank you guys so much for being here on with us today. Thank you for those that are in person. So this is how we are rolling for here on out. We will be hybrid. So if you are able to join us in person, welcome. If you are able to join us online, welcome. I will say we had great attendance. I think we topped out at 16 online, and I don't even know how many people are in here, but it's a lot of people. So I'm excited. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Of course, always follow us on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, where you can find information. We will try our best to get that information for the library resources out to you guys in virtual land. If you have not applied to present, please do so. Jason, we're looking forward to your presentation. Well, I think he's off, but we're looking forward to Jason's presentation. And if there be nothing else, we will see you guys again, same time, same station next week. Thank you guys so much.
Good job, everybody.